Hi guys, this is the voice box. We have seen the GTA 6 trailer, the long awaited game that we've been waiting for some time. Of course, we've had a big reveal within the 1 minute section we got and what it is we're going to be expecting for this wide open game. But today I want to be talking about what makes Grand Theft Auto stand out from plenty of other games with its controversial satire, comedy and humour, which has been quite controversial, especially on the topic of transgenderism. But for anybody who isn't a snowflake, realises that this game isn't racist, it's just a typical way of stereotyping human behaviour and amplifying it to ridiculous levels. Now, I wanted to get into why this is such an important thing within GTA because of course it points out controversial topics that happen all over the world, both political, in reality TV and social media. We can quite clearly see within the GTA 6 trailer that social media is going to be a big aspect within the game. So I think it's only right we talk about some of GTA's more satire moments and how it correlates with the likes of GTA 6.
He sits on his ass all day, smoking dope and jerking off while he plays that fucking game. If that's our standard for goodness, no wonder this country's screwed.
GTA 5 is the perfect example of Grand Theft Auto's satire comedy, especially because the game is based within LA, California. Everything's glitz and glamour, and obviously in California there's a lot of political narratives that of course are both left and right. But it's to do with also that the fact of the Hollywood glitz and glamour, the scandals behind the scenes such as sex pests and of course just full-on stereotypes of different kinds of people who live within California, of course amplified all that much more. Of course it's hilarious then when Michael mentions that his teenage son at home is jerking off and smoking weed, which are like the free necessities when you're a young teenage boy, and for anybody who says otherwise then you're either lying or you actually didn't do that, and if you did then more power to you. I laughed uncontrollably in terms of the satire comedy here because it truly is golden. Of course this is something that really many people across the world will face, where their teenage kids are too busy in their room smoking weed and playing video games and looking at naked women. Of course, aside from the cutscenes that we see that of course keep it satire as well in stereotyping every kind of life situation, even the advertisements are very ridiculously over the top, which yes, always manage to get a laugh out of every single person. If no one ever actually really had the time to sit down and watch the TV programs, I'd like to suggest you go back and watch them because they are hilarious.
Wake up in the morning, drop a big old log out here. You ain't got time for nothing fruity like a jog. Marry a fat bitch and die working like a dog. Cowboys in the heartland, bankers in the city. We love cars, guns, and big old plastic titties. Let's grab a case of Pisswasser and drink for the USA. Woo! Hey neighbors, I'm sorry, we're partying real butch. You ought to speak English if you like it here so much. Not Spanish or Chinese or British. Yeah, fucking Dutch. Fuck the Dutch. I said, yeah, we're gonna keep them illegals out. Guns and Pisswasser.
Obviously, these kind of satire jokes are going to be really difficult to try and fit into a game, especially by today's standards of the way everyone is so politically hurt by, you know, things that are just basically poking fun at stereotypical situations. Of course, this is just pointing fun at your typical American stereotype of American racist hillbillies, where they are all American and everything else doesn't come first apart from the USA flag. Mostly anybody knows this stereotype, your typical hillbilly who sleeps with his sister and has questionable interactions with animals. It's not something to be taken too seriously, it pokes fun at everything. Hopefully Rockstar Games don't cave in within the pressure of this community that seems to hold quite widely a great deal of power within the gaming industry, where a lot of devs seem to cave in, because I really do hope that it is that they keep what's unique about Rockstar. Also, I think people don't get the message that GTA is basically just trying to shed the spotlight what is actually taking place within our world. It's not that they're actively targeting anyone specifically, it's just that they are trying to really show exactly how crazy and wild this world can get in all different spectrums on this planet.
Rehab Island, a tiny island. 10 desperados who will do anything on television. No food, a massive pile of cocaine, and tons of relapses. Reality finally gets real on CNT.
Grand Theft Auto even pokes fun at reality television. Yes, you know those TV shows where you get a group of absolute dimwits with no brains, who they put them all together in a house, they all socialise amongst each other, and somehow they end up getting with one person and the other person ends up getting with the other person. It causes a big giant massive argument where they're pulling and tearing at each other's hairs, and we just get to sit there and have the laugh and amusement all at our expense. It just points out the great ridiculousness in which is supposedly meant to be reality TV, which I like to call a false sense of reality TV, because half of what we see is just there to try and attract the audience with drama and bullshit. But of course we can see how Grand Theft Auto truly elevates it and makes it all the more hilarious to watch. So to keep this video nice and bite-sized for you guys, obviously what we're going to talk about is GTA 6, and I really do believe that they are going to retain what makes them great in terms of sense of humour. Of course, in GTA 6, we know that a lot of the game is going to be based around social media, as throughout the trailer we did get to see that there was what appeared to be someone filming through a mobile phone for crazy cinematic moments. As we know today in the real world with TikTok and Instagram and all this new Gen Z shit, that we know that a lot of people these days are filming themselves on the phone, doing all kinds of wild crazy stuff and filming absolutely everything. There's no doubt it's going to be a fun, cool, implemented feature that's definitely going to be linked to the Rockstar Social Club, and that we're going to be able to interact with other online players, and I'm going to explain why. For anybody who remembers back playing GTA 5, anyone knows they could use their mobile phone in which they could access the internet to go on Life Invader pages that were linked around the characters in the game, but also how it could link in with Rockstar's Social Club in how any photographs you taken within the environment, everybody else could see on this big giant social media page. As you can see here, we look like we have someone with their own name tag, Have a Vice Day, in which someone's put a quote saying someone called the Department of Transport on this dump truck. Basically capturing some wild random event that probably will take place within the game just like this, but people doing crazy things as they do on social media to get views, especially with the all-time favourite where girls like to shake their ass on the screen, especially on TikTok and other places.
For you today.
Well, I just got back from the gym. I was wondering if y'all had any protein shakes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Golly. Oh my. Can I get an actual protein shake though too?
I mean, you could give me one maybe.
What?
Ah, of course, it's TikTok, the home of degenerates, where the asylum is being run by the mental patients who clearly need a lot of mental help. But this is what I'm trying to explain, guys, as we can see how ridiculous social media is really, especially with this TikTok crap. I mean, isn't there a thing that anybody wouldn't do for a view these days, including like filming the dead and disrespecting people's privacy? Either way, guys, I know you're up on things, so you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, but this is how this is going to correlate with the likes of GTA 6, and of course, with its satire comedy, it's really going to elevate the likes of the ridiculousness in today's social media age, and I, for one, cannot wait.
Well, look who's back.
And yes, people, it looks like we might have ourselves a Karen stereotype. Of course, Rockstar taking it to the next level by making this Karen dual wield the likes of two hammers. As some of you might remember in GTA 5, there was actually certain characters where if you stood round them or even looked at them, they'd actually just call the police on you for no reason. I definitely think this is something that we're gonna get when we're walking around in certain areas, where you'll have this typical paranoid, angry, full of hatred Karen walking around who's probably got 50 cats at home and a big giant vibrator waiting for her. She's mad at the world. She hates men. You guys know I'm talking about, that typical Karen stereotype who tries to go out of her way to cause trouble even though there's no trouble to begin with. If there's one thing for certain, guys, it looks like Rockstar will not go woke, and perhaps they're going to keep everything that made the games great with the satire jokes, and they're going to keep them within this game. Of course, there's plenty more examples I could give you guys, but I'd love for you to go check them out yourself in your spare time by just simply typing up on YouTube GTA satire jokes, and I'm sure you'll find everything you need there. Well, this is really all there is for today's video, guys. I'd love to know what you have to think about this in the comment section down below, or what's your favourite satire moment within GTA and what you're hoping they're going to put in GTA 6. I'm the Voice Box. Remember to like and subscribe, turn that notification bell on if you want, and I'll see you soon, guys.